We will deal today with the concept of sect division into diurnal and nocturnal charts. This concept was presented somewhere in the middle of the 90s by Robert Hand when he was working in the group of Project Hindsight. Project Hindsight was a group which translated astrological texts from Greek language, from Latin language, from Jewish and Arabic into English. And one of the concepts that was totally unfamiliar to modern astrologers was the concept of planetary sect. The concept which speaks about night and day, about division of the chart into diurnal and nocturnal. Rob Hand used to say that the sect division is the most fundamental and influential question for the astrology of the late classical period. This division led to different meanings and approaches in chart interpretation. So, which means that the chart, the night chart or the day chart, was interpreted in different ways depending on the characteristic of this chart. Before we start talking about the chart interpretation, we have to talk about some philosophical questions or points that underpin this concept, the concept of sect. This philosophical question or point is the question of light. What was light? Physically, spiritually, and metaphysically, and how this understanding of light influenced astrological techniques and doctrines. During this lecture, we will touch only the sect division, but I have to say that the concept of light penetrates all astrological techniques, theories, and concepts. So we start. Light, possibly the most complex concept in Western philosophy and science. Heinz Blumenberg, who is a German philosopher, considers light the main philosophical idea that formatted European thought. James McAvey points out that from the ages of Aristotle up until the 17th century, light occupied the central and the preponderant role in the thought of natural philosopher. I will return to the first picture, and you can see here, this is the picture of creation of the universe. So the God creator, he created the universe already, which means that the light exists already. And the other step, it was the second or third step in the creation of the universe, was creation of lights of the sun and the moon. So we have two kinds of light. We have the first primordial light, and then the second kind of light, which connected to the planetary lights, like the sun and the moon. So light also exists, always exists in different forms or in different states. There is a physical light, which is called lux naturalis in Latin, and metaphysical light, which is lux intelligibilis, or intellectual light. We have to analyze the concept of metaphysics of light. Metaphysics of light is a conventional historical and philosophical term which relates to the complex of ideas formulated in classical Greece and especially later in the medieval culture concerning light as a first element of the world that unites all existence, combining the elements that could not be combined, and being ingeniously connected to such notions as order, number, relations, and hence to reason, truth, and word. Light plays a role of intermediate link, fastening into one ontological whole different notions like bodily and spiritual, material and non-material, substantial and ideal. So we always deal with different oppositions that are connected to the concept or to the idea of light. And again, we have natural light or lux naturalis, and it is defined as universal or of common nature, uh, uh, natura universalis communis, that is common nature of all bodies, and it stands on the border of two worlds, the world of the bodily forms and the world of pure forms. Its own light exists inside the world of pure forms. So if we look at the light as it is, we will consider that it is the very, very subtle physical form of the matter. And from the other side, it doesn't have any body. It is bodiless, uh, even not substance or something that is not substantial. This double nature of light is very important for the understanding of this concept. So this light exists as a primordial being, unity that multiplies from the first intelligible form, as the light of beauty and the light of reason, illuminating the minds of people with God's truth. The concept of light underpins our understanding of cosmos, of the order of the universe, in other words, in the cosmology.